Let's go! Today we are going to look at the setup of a starter base to show you how to make it very productive. You need to think about the things you're going to need when you're setting it up. I always start with a PAL box on some foundations, and then I just kind of build out from there. You should always put storage next to your PAL boxes. It makes it really easy when you come in, especially if you have to go mining and come back overweight. You can just automatically turn and put it away. Always keep your feed bin located centrally so that the pals don't spend any more time getting to it than necessary. I have the lumber and mining stations here. As soon as I get the ore station, it will go right here. I've saved space for that. Keep storage near all of these stations. When you pick it up, sometimes there's a whole lot and it's really heavy, and you just want to be able to turn and drop it into a box. Also, if the pals do actually decide to transport it for you, they can just pick it up, deliver, pick it up, deliver, and they get it done much faster as well. Our fire stations are all in the same area. We have the furnace and the cooking pot. I like to keep those close together. Always keep a storage box next to your forge or furnaces, because when you pull off all the ingots or whatever, it's real heavy and you can just turn and drop it in the box. I have my monitoring stand. You can use this to set the work mode. Their sanity will drop much faster if it's in these hard ones, and you will end up with a lot of problems. You will eventually lose productivity by doing that. So I pretty much always keep it on normal work. You can also go in and decide which pals you want working on which things specifically. If there's somebody that you don't want to do a certain job, like I don't want Dinossum lumbering because she cuts down all my trees. If I need wood, I'll turn it back on, but for right now, I'm just going to leave her off so that I don't have piles of wood everywhere. We have our ranch. Always put storage in your ranch. I set mine to only accept PAL materials, production goods. This is really more once I have a Sibilix, because she puts out the high quality cloth. That's what she drops in the ranch, and that's considered production goods. If you're curious about what each item is considered for the storage filters, I do have a video on that. If you look for it, it's Storage Filters Explained, Storage Filter Oddballs. Some items don't seem like they go in the right spot for these. When I have a Vixie or a Mao out, I like to make a separate one for just that, because when I help them and pick stuff up over here, I'll just come over and quick dump into it, and if I do that in this one, I end up losing all of my money, my balls, and my arrows. And I usually don't remember until I pick a fight with a pal out there somewhere. The cooler holds the ingredients and ingredients only. I do have it set so that that's all it will take. I don't want them putting food in here because they can't eat out of the cooler. So it only takes ingredients. And I keep it next to the ranch because they're going to pick up the eggs and the honey and the milk, and they're right beside it. The feed bin only accepts food because I don't want them eating ingredients. I don't want them eating... Well, hello! I don't want them eating the berries or the eggs or the milk. I want them to get the nutrition and sanity from cooked foods. So it's a much better idea to feed them something cooked. I do have 2 feed bins because I was cooking so much that all the slots were full. That one's more of an overflow one because at one point they were all full. I didn't know what else to do with them. We have our garden over here. This is where the waterers work. They have to water the garden, so next to it I have the mill to make our flour. And over on this side I have our crusher, which you can use to turn stone into paldium, wood into fiber, or you can convert different palsol sizes to make other size palsols depending on what you need. I have most of my boxes around here set to only take wood, stone, and ore. Storage that I want other things in, I will take off stuff. Everyone pretty much has ingredients, food, ammo, and spheres off of it because I don't want those. Again, I quick dump and I don't want to quick dump stuff like that. We have their hot spring back here and a bunch of beds. The house, and this has our medicine workbench. Storage for stuff like this. I always call this the apothecary. It's the medicine workbench. We have just a regular workbench. This is where I keep the schematics. I have other storage down here for stuff like skill fruits. This is my trader box of stuff that I'm going to sell. This is my additional clothing, pendants, jewelry, any of that sort of stuff. Out here, I have a workbench. I have my sphere workbench, and I have the weapons workbench. By the time I need the larger production lines, I'll have set up a second base. One thing I will say, once you can make stone, you should change all of the wood over to stone, because one pal shows up, there's a fight, there's one fire attack, and suddenly your whole place burns down. My starter base is pretty much always wood because that's all I can make at the time, but as soon as you can, switch it to stone. One quick look up and over, and we'll look at it from above. This was not a place I picked for any specific reason. I was literally just flying around and decided I was done, and I plopped down my PAL box and just made it here. I think that's one of the better things of them making the ore station, is that I no longer have to find spots specifically with ore. And I do have an ore node very close to here that I get. It's just I have to do it myself. Looks like it hasn't respawned yet, it spawns right there. So, but this is a good starter base, it's a good place to put things. It's a good way to set stuff up. Big tips, don't put anything too close to the edge, don't have it hang over the edge. Pals get to the blue line and they get stuck and they just sit there and spin like this and they can't go anywhere until you pick them up. And it's really annoying. Pals that are medium or large size cannot go under a 1 or 2 story building. They have to have at least 3 stories. So there you have it. After much trial and error, this is the most efficient way to set up a base that I've found. I hope this helped you, and if it did, please leave me a like and consider subscribing to keep getting helpful tips like this. Until next time, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.